system and kind of knew you were going to be the guy going in?
I think my preparation was the same. Last year I kind of prepared to be the starter as well, just like our number one core value, always compete. So I think that was kind of the main thing, is just going there, same mindset as always. So
what did you learn from Harrison?
So Harrison was a great mentor and also a fantastic kicker, as everyone knows. And I think he taught me a lot on the mental side of kicking and physically. And I would say that everything he taught me is stuff I still apply in my everyday approach. So,
like on that note of always competing, Drinkwitz talked to us right near the end of fall camp that there was a day where you were struggling a little bit and they put Nick in, and then there was a day last year where Harrison was struggling a little bit and they put you in with the starters. What was how did you process both those moments, and was that a big realization for you in either of those years?
Yeah, so I think every kicker we have on roster is obviously very good, and that kind of goes hand in hand with always compete, like you said. But I think you kind of have to have the mentality of you're going to mess up as a kicker. You're going to have great moments, you're going to have bad moments, and then it's all about just being consistent and going back to work the same day, or the same way the next day. So,
Blake, I know some kickers hesitate to answer this, but I got to ask after the one on Saturday, what's the range where you tell coach I can hit it?
So obviously it depends on the day, the wind and everything, but obviously I feel very comfortable with my range out to 60, even 65, but I think that kind of comes and goes with the day and the wind and everything like that. So,
Like you touched on this a little bit earlier, but after going 1 for 3 a couple of weeks ago, how are you able to bounce back? So not only not miss a kick the next week, but go 4 for 4, including a 50+ yarder.
So I think my mindset is always never get too high, never get too low. And when you have a great game, you still got a game the next week. When you have a bad game, you still have a game the next week. It's kind of going with our team motto as well, being 1-0. So it's kind of the way I approach it.
Can you tell on one like the 57-yarder, do you know as soon as you hit it, you got that? I mean, how quickly can you tell?
So yeah, I mean, off the foot, you can obviously oh, that was a great hit. But I kind of keep my head down until I see the thing go through the upright, and then that's when I realize oh, I made it. So
Blake, how much confidence, does hitting, a career best like that, then also, an SEC special teams player of the week, how much confidence does that give you moving forward this season?
I think it's very good for not only my confidence, but I think it's really good for the team's confidence. Obviously, I want to do everything I can every single game to score points for the team, and that's just my main goal going in every game, is to help the team win. So,
Like you mentioned Harrison as a mentor, are there any other kickers in college or the professional game that you try to take things from and apply to your game?
Yeah, I mean, I've grown up a Chiefs fan my whole life, so obviously the two guys that come straight to my mind are Cairo Santos and Harrison Butker, but some new faces like Evan McPherson is a guy that I really look up to, and I think that his younger brother also plays in the SEC, so he's a fantastic kicker, and I try to mimic a lot of the things that he does as well.
What are some of those specific things that you see?
I would say just his approach to the game and to his mentality going into every game. I've seen him talk, and he trains with the same coach that I train with, so I know a lot about the way he kicks his style. I've seen some of his film. He's very, very, very good with his technique. So,
How'd you become a kicker? How did that get on your radar?
Yeah, so it's kind of a funny story, but I played soccer my whole life, as have many kickers, but it was going into my freshman year. High school coach just said, hey, we need somebody that can boot the ball down the field, and I was like, well, I can try it. Honestly, it was very terrible for a few months, but I just stuck with it. I had this gut feeling that said, you got to do this, and then I ended up, after the first kickoff of the season, we had a senior that was in front of me. He ended up not hitting the ball well. Coach put me in, and then kind of the rest was history. I stuck with it.
Blake, mentally, when you miss a kick in game, how do you recover from that on the sideline and get ready and get prepared to go out there again and just refresh?
So me and Harrison and all the coaches, we all have this mentality of next play, and for me, I say next kick because this is the way I think of it. It's next kick, make or miss. You still have a kick after that, whether it's in that game or it's the next week, you know, so.
Anything else for Blake?
Like, I don't think the thicker kicker exactly fits for you. Do you have any nickname developments going on?
So I've obviously seen like Instagram and Twitter, they're saying Craig the Leg. I do like the nickname, but I kind of like I leave it up to other people to kind of give me the nickname they want to. So.
All right.